Here at Palmetto CAP, we do basic needs assistance and empowerment services for families in poverty in Berkeley, Dorchester, and Charleston County. Our services cover a wide range of assistance, and we're here to make sure that you know all about them. So our services look like utility assistance, which covers electricity as well as water bill assistance. We have a general emergency program, which helps with any emergency that you may have. It's a self-sufficiency program, so in that program you do have to be able to sustain after we assist, but it can cover utility assistance as well as like emergency medicine, different things like that. We have an asset building department that helps do free tax prep as well as financial literacy programs. And in that program, they also help with our first-time home buyers program, where we get you ready to get into your home. We also have low-income rentals for families in the area in different parts of the Tri-County. We have an education and employment department that does work support for adults, and that looks like new uniforms, transportation and supportive work, as well as child care assistance. In that education and employment department, we also have services for the youth, so students in high school and college. We have a summer youth works program where they're able to get some experience in the field working, as well as learn soft skills as they're growing and learning in the community. We have youth programs where we teach them emotional and social learning through the education and employment program, which is great. We also have a weatherization program that can go in and help make your home more energy efficient. So that looks like, caulking and different things like that, as well as teaching you the tips and tricks to keep your electric bill down. Here at Palmetto CAP, our goal is really to help everyone and help change lives in our community. So if you need any assistance, let us know.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another class for our food and nutrition program. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. My name is Thomas Nix, and I am the Community Outreach Director here at Palmetto Community Action Partnership. I also do the Energy Conservation class, so I just want to welcome you all here. And I want to be able to give you some helpful hints that will help you save a lot of money for your household, put it back in your pocket so you can use it for other things that are just more important than giving it out to the utility companies. So from here, what I'd like to show you is, first of all, we'll get this out of the way. This is the energy saving tip sheet. I'm going to be giving each one of you a copy of this. And as you can see, there is a multitude of things that you can do that's going to help you save energy along the way and put that extra money back in the family's pocket so you can use it for other things. So each one of you will be getting one of these, and and you'll make a lifestyle change. Is what I always say. Do that. Follow these as much as you can, and you won't be able to do all of them, but do what you can, and you'll certainly save money and save it for the family too. All right, we're going to move on. I'd like to show you this as a pie chart. Now this chart, if you can see, will show you the 5 major areas that you spend the most money when it comes to utilities. And we're going to break each one of those down. I'll give you a couple of hints there. On each of those, it will help you out a little bit. We know that we all have to have utility service, so we can't get away from that. So what we're going to try to do is minimize what we spend with the companies. And by doing that, of course, as I keep reiterating, that you're going to save money. So remember that even though they're providing a service to us, they're also bill collectors, right? We got to pay for that service. So what we have to do is try to outsmart them in the best ways we can and the legal ways that we can. We don't want to do anything illegal, but we can do things that will minimize the use of that service that we're getting from them and enable you to save the money. So on the pie chart, one of the first things that we're going to look at, and you can see it's the biggest part of the pie chart, is going to be space heating. Now I'm throwing in air conditioning too, so if these were separate numbers, you can see that it takes up most of the pie chart because that is the biggest draw on your electric, is the heating and air. So if you have an HVAC system, These systems are set up to run and operate independently without us going in and raising our thermostats up and down. So the best thing that you could do is set that thermostat. In the wintertime, they like you to set that around 69 degrees. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't do that. I get mine to about 72, 73, and it's comfortable enough if I'm wearing additional clothing. In the summertime, it's 79 degrees, and I can't do that either, but I can get it to about 77. So that's going to be a personal preference for you guys. So whatever you're comfortable with, but that's the recommended temperatures that you want to be at. Each temperature below that or above that, you're spending in the neighborhood of $2 up to maybe even $3 per kilowatts what you're charged for your energy usage. So you want to minimize that as much as possible. You also want to make this, as I had mentioned earlier, a lifestyle change. You got in the habits that you do now to keep the house cold or to keep the house warm when the time comes. And some of you, if you have kids, will run to that thermostat. So you want to get a programmable thermostat, and you want to be able to keep that at the temperatures that you're set, and you use that for the entire household. So you're going to educate everyone to let them know, that moving this up and down, not allowing the machine to do its job is going to cost you a lot more money. So remember, set your thermostat and leave it. Let the machine cycle itself. That's what it's built to do. It's energy efficient, and that's what's going to help you. It's going to save you a lot of money. The average now can be anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 a year in our state alone, and that's just an average. We know that depending on the weather here, and especially in the summer or the winter, that could even be higher. That's what we're paying out as individuals to the electric company. So we've got to find ways to reduce that, in other words, to save the money that we want to put back into the family. Remember that in the winter, open the curtains in the winter. You want the sun, you want those rays to come into the house. Believe it or not, that little bit is going to help heat the house up. It's going to help your unit. In the summer, it's just the opposite. Close those curtains. You don't want the sun's rays coming in while you're trying to cool your house down with a heating and air unit. So you want to do that. You want to make sure that your registers, if that's what you have, and by the bases of the floor, or even in the ceiling, wherever you may have them, make sure they're clear of any obstacles and that they're clean. Clean them off. Anything that can block that is going to run the machine longer than it should, which runs your electric bill up. So remember that. Keep those areas clean. Now, you may have heard that using a fan can run the electric bill up. Well, it's so minimal. If you only have an area of your home that you're getting that heating and cooling like you like it, set a fan up in the hallway. Let that fan circulate the rest of the air through the rest of the house. It will save you money, and what's the unit itself that you're using in the fan, it's not going to draw as much electricity as you would think. So those are some helpful hints. You also, last but not least on that, you want to make sure that just like you would do an automobile, once a year, have it looked at, like a tune-up or an oil change. Have it looked at. It may cost anywhere from $50 to $100, but in the long run, to replace a heating and air unit can be $5,000 to $10,000. So the payoff is there. If you treat it like you would treat your car and do that tune-up once a year, it'll last you a very long time. They can last 10 years or more, depending on the usage and or damage that may have sustained, whatever it may be. They can last for 10 years or even longer. So keep that in mind when you're looking at those and when you're trying to set those parameters within the household so that you can save yourself money. The next thing on our list, if we look down here, that's one of the biggest part, and we'll go, this is bigger, but this is when it's added together. So outside of your heating and air unit, the next biggest thing is going to be your hot water heater. So the hot water heater does what? It heats water, and it heats it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year. That is a lot. So you have to plan around these things. You have to plan to know that every time, if you had a leak, a drip, a single drip, every time it falls a little bit below, the heater coils kick in and they heat that water back up. So imagine if you had a drip that you were in the bathtub or the sink and you were not taking care of that. Over a day, it's draining it enough to run the heaters to heat that water back up because it wants to stay full and hot at that same temperature. Temperature-wise, they come preset a lot of times at about 120 degrees. That's way too hot. About 110 is the high point that you would need to do anything that you're doing in your home, whether it be washing dishes or washing clothes. Every degree above that it has to heat that water up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, throughout the whole year, is costing you money. Make sure if you don't know where to check it, make sure you have someone that does. Find out who can do it for you. If you have a complex, ask maintenance to do it. Have them come and look to make sure that their thermostat is set on that down to about 110. I wouldn't go any higher than that. If there's a way to keep it wrapped and insulated, as small as that may be, it is a great thing to do. It's going to save you money. Also, a little tip that I learned, and a lot of people, you guys may know this, I didn't know it, but I learned that about every other month, and I certainly wouldn't go more than 3 months, you should drain about a gallon of water out of your hot water heater. The sediment from all of the usage will settle at the bottom, and when it does, your heater coils are there. And those heater coils, they have to heat through that sediment and heat the water. It's going to run harder, run longer to get the water temperature back up there. So again, if you're not able to do it, have somebody that can do that for you. And about every other month, or at least don't go any longer than 3 months, drain some water out of that water heater, and it'll drain that dark sediment out of there, which will clear those coils, and that will help you. So that is another big issue we have. So your heating and air unit and your hot water heater, they are draining your electricity. So those are the areas you want to attack first to make sure that you've done what you can do. And again, when you look at your energy savings tip sheet that you're going to be getting, you can't do it all. Just try to do as much of that as you can, and you will make a difference. Focus on your heating and air unit and focus on your hot water heater. It's going to work out in the best for you to do that. They're both energy efficient equipment, and they're made to run like they do as long as they're operating under those standards. And that's going to be up to you to take care of that and make sure that happens. We're going to work our way up the pie chart here. So I said that, the air conditioner, I would add it in with the heating. This little blue here is your refrigerator. Now refrigerators, believe it or not, of course, they're running. You got a freezer running 24/7. You got the refrigerator itself running 24/7. A big thing here is that you have the coils on the back of the refrigerator and even underneath. So you want to make sure those coils are clear of any debris, dust, dirt, or whatever. It like your hot water heater, it works the same way. If those coils are covered in any way, they're having to work twice as hard to keep the refrigerator cold, to keep the freezer frozen. That's running your electric bill up. A trick I learned, again, I didn't know this, and a lot of you may, during Christmas time, our birthdays, the wrapping paper, once it's done, you have that long cylinder of cardboard. Well, I learned that you can put that on the end of a vacuum. You puncture about 6 holes in it with an ice pick, and you can stand and let that bend and go up under your refrigerator, and it will vacuum all of that area out. It will clear it out for you. You don't have to get on your knees. You don't have to bend over. You can even use it on the back to clear the coils there. So make sure that you take that tip, use it as the best you can. If you can develop it even more, that's even better for you. And keep it clear underneath and behind it. Make sure that there's nothing blocking those coils so that the refrigerator, again, another energy efficient unit, as long as it's operating as it should and there's no blockage and it's breathable air around it. So you want to make sure that you take care of that. That's going to save you a lot there as well. Last but not least, I want to look at, as a whole, lighting and appliances. It says here about 24%. And that varies depending on how you use it. But what I usually tell people is that you've seen the new bulbs that are out there, and you've seen them. They have the squiggly like lines on them, and all. You see that they're made to be very energy efficient. They're very expensive. But what you want to do, if you're not able to do it, to buy them all at once, and again they're expensive. I would start off by using them and changing them out in the rooms that you use the lights on the most. And then as you can, work your way through the house. Now, some of the electric companies have programs, and you can get them for free. You'll have to contact your electric company and find out what their guidelines are and what they would do about getting those things out to you. So you want to replace those. As an example, a regular bulb that you may have in your house is going to be 60 watts. A bulb like that is 13 watts and will last 15 times longer. And over the long run, not the immediate, but the long run, all of that's going to save you energy. So you change those throughout your house. You want to look at also where you've got the most appliances plugged in, or the most appliances or electronics plugged in. What you want to do is they make what's called a smart strip. You can get it at Walmart. Again, some of the electric companies will give that out to you as well, but at Walmart it's about $19.99. The smart strip is to help you save money. It is to reduce that intake of the electricity when you're not using that equipment or you're not on your electronics. You would plug them all into the one strip. And once that you're done, that strip then blocks and reduces that electricity that you normally would have. So not knowing in the beginning, I used to have everything in my apartment plugged up. If you don't need to have it plugged up, it shouldn't be plugged up. Everything plugged into the wall sockets is using a little bit of electricity. So if you have 10 things plugged up and you're not using those 10 things all at one time, imagine that adding up, and then that's an additional charge monthly that can be up to 24-25% of your bill. So remember, only plug up what you need to when you're using it. Now, I don't unplug the microwave and I don't unplug my TV, but I do have a smart strip, and that helps reduce that intake of your electricity. So all in all, these are some major areas that I want you to focus on when you're doing that. Then when you go through your house, do a walkthrough. Look at those things. You may think it's small, but in the long run and over a period of time, all this is going to make a difference. You want to put that money back in your pocket. You want to put it back into the household. You got plenty of other things you could spend the money on that are better suited than paying out the electric company. We have to have the service, and it's our duty, and that's why I say it's a lifestyle change. It's our duty to do what we can to make sure that we reduce that so that we pay them as little as possible for that service and get to keep it. But most of the money goes back into household, like whether it's medicine or whether it's food or whether it's clothing, whatever it may be that you need more than what it is by just paying out to the electric company. You get in the habit that we have to have water, we have to have electric, we have to have this, so I'm just going to do whatever, I'm just going to be comfortable. You can do it. You can change your ways a little bit. It's a lifestyle change. It's not going to happen overnight. Give yourself time and get the whole family involved. If everyone in the household's involved, it's going to make it much easier to control. And as a family, you're going to put that money back into your household where it should be. If you have any questions, there'll be my contact information. You certainly can contact me at any time, email me, call me, whatever it is. I will help you out in any way that I can. The whole agency is here to help you out. I hope you enjoy the rest of your program for this food nutrition class. It's been amazing, and thank you guys, and I hope to see you soon.
Hello, we're going to talk today about some simple steps of eating healthy on a budget. So we want to first start with a plan, a weekly plan for planning your meals. If you plan your meals out for the week, that would be the very first step. And from that plan, you want to make a grocery list. Because I don't know if you're like me, but when I go into the grocery store, if I don't have a plan, I'll put all sorts of things in my buggy. So in order to stick to your plan, you want to make a grocery list based on your meal plan. And once you've made that grocery list, then you want to do some creative things by looking at some coupons. You want to clip some coupons to match the different foods and products that you're going to need for your weekly plan. You can look at store coupons. You can get the Sunday newspaper, which is usually filled with all sorts of coupons. and you can look at different store brands of products. All of that will help you save money when you're planning your meals. And so first you're going to have your meal plan. Second, you're going to make your grocery list. And then you're going to do your coupon clipping. Once you've done that through the newspaper, then you're going to be ready to go to the store. So you get to the store. Remember now, we're going to be looking at different price tags and then volume. Now, just because the store has it on sale doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that you can use. So don't go buying dog food if you don't have a dog, because that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be something that's going to be good for you. So I suggest that you take your time, organize, and look at your different brands as well as your volume. So you want to be sure that you understand price tags. So now when it comes to looking for things healthy, we want to look at eating fresh or frozen versus canned. Canned foods have a lot of sodium in them. So I know when we talk about fresh fruits and vegetables, people say, they cost, they're very expensive. So the key to shopping for fresh fruits is knowing when they're in season. So you might want to check online, and there's a list to tell you when it's winter fruits and vegetables, when the spring, and I'll give you an example. You have spring apples versus winter apples, and then you have summer apples and fall apples. If you buy them when they're in season, then they're cheaper during the season. Bananas are cheaper in the fall than they are in the summer. Apricots are cheaper in the summer and spring than they are in the winter and the fall. So if you kind of pay attention to those things, you could eat those in those months, and sometimes you can purchase them and freeze them and eat them during those other months. So those are some tips that you can use. You can still eat healthy, but you can do it on a smaller budget. So we're going to make that list. We're going to do that meal plan. We're going to make that list. We're going to eat something before we go to the store, so we're not at the store hungry, so we're not putting all those things in our buggy. We're going to clip those coupons. We're going to look for those store deals, only those things that we can use. And we're going to be prepared so we can eat healthy on a budget.
Hi everybody, my name is Margaret. I have the best job ever. My job is to help people every day to reach their health and fitness goals. So it's a lot of fun for me. One of the most important things that we talk about is choosing the best foods to eat, right? So we know that all of us know that the foods that we eat help to give our body the nutrients that we need, at the same time keeping us strong and ready to go. So one of the most important pieces of that is getting regular intake of fruit and vegetables every day, right? It's really important. Why do I say that? Because those fruit and veggies are jam-packed with the nutrients that our body needs to operate properly, while at the same time, they are very, very low in calories, which means we can eat a lot of fruit and veggies and get to a healthy weight and maintain a healthy weight, which is so important. So what are we going to do today? Today we are going to, number one, explore a lot of different ways where we can get our fruits and veggies onto our plate every day. We're going to look at super fun and easy ways to do that. We're going to cook together. We're going to make a couple dishes that are going to be delicious and easy. And then we're going to finish up looking at a really good tool that's going to remind us to get those fruits and vegetables every single day. So let's get cooking. Vegetables come in a variety, multitude of different choices, right? So you choose the ones that you like, and I choose the ones that I like. One of my favorites is asparagus. So we are going to first look at a great way to get your veggies is by roasting these veggies. So what we're going to do, this was so simple. We take the asparagus, we wash it, we break the ends off, put a little olive oil on top, a little bit of salt and pepper on there, goes in really quickly, over here into our toaster oven. Done, right? A few minutes, these are going to be ready for us to eat and enjoy. Simple. Now, a second way to get those fruits and vegetables every day, a super way to get the fruits and vegetables is by making a pot of soup. Everyone likes soup. It's affordable, it's easy, and it's just delicious. So what we're going to do today is we are going to use lentils. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the best lentil soup that you have ever had. Super easy, anybody can do it. So we're going to turn our heat up and we are going to start with some veggies, right? You choose the veggies you like. Here's what I brought today is I brought carrots and onions to put in the soup to start with. These are my favorites. I have them at my house. You use your favorites and you whatever you have at your house. So we're going to start with some nice olive oil in the bottom. And we're going to start cooking. We are going to start with our carrots and onions. Now again, this is when it gets fun. This is when you can change this up. Can you use other vegetables? Of course. Can you use frozen vegetables? Of course. Frozen vegetables are simple. They've already been washed, chopped up for you. They're inexpensive and you can keep them in your freezer. They're right there for your use. So use frozen veggies if you'd like. How about a little spice to this? You like spicy? A little spicy? I got these nice little peppers growing in my garden. And so what I did was chop it up and I'm going to put a little green pepper in there. Oh, let's put it all in. It's not a very hot pepper, but you can choose. You can choose a regular mild pepper. If you want it spicier, go with a little hot pepper, right? Why not? So I'm going to show you right down into my pot. You can see our veggies are just cooking away here. Now, how about a little garlic in this soup? Everyone likes garlic, right? So a very simple way is just to take few little garlic cloves, use something that is not sharp, and what we're going to do is just take that whatever and smash it. Smash that garlic, right? And what we're going to do is take the little jackets off, peel the little jacket off of that garlic. This is a great chore for kids cooking in the household. Let them smash that garlic, right? And take the jackets off. We're going to rough chop it just a little bit and put that in our soup. So here we go. So I have Haley here today helping me out in the room. So I'm going to ask Haley if she can help us to count exactly how many veggies we get going in this soup. So Haley, what do you think? How many do we have so far?
I want to say 4.
We do. We have 4 different vegetables already going in our pot, right? A nice variety of different vegetables, different colors. So there's different colors going in here. Each different color of veggies comes with different nutrients. So it's great that we have a little variety of different nutrients going. So there we go. So now the important part of making a soup is how do we get it to taste really good? This is how we spice it up, right? So today what we're using are 3 different spices. We're using some curry, we're using some cumin, and we're using dried thyme. So I measured those out in a little bowl. We have, I'm going to put those in with our veggies. I have about 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of curry, and 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. Oh my. Now we get some really nice aroma coming out of our pot. Oh, our kitchen is smelling so great. Haley, can you smell that?
I can. It smells incredible.
Yeah, it smells great, right? So we've got that going. Oh, it smells so good. Now we're going to add our broth and our lentils. So what we're using today are some dried lentils. You may want to pick through them a little bit. Be sure they're clean of any debris or anything like that. We're going to pop that into our pot. And now we're going to add a can of diced tomatoes. Be also great. So have we added another veggie here?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, so we're up to
5.
5 different vegetables. And this is all going to town. Oh, it's smelling great in here. You know, one reason I like soup is because it's a meal in a pot, right? One pot, and that's all the mess that we have made. So now we're going to put our broth in. Today I'm going to use a vegetable broth. I like to use a low sodium one. We don't need all that salt. So we're going to pop that in with our tomatoes and our vegetables and our lentils. There we go. And we're also going to add a couple cups of water. Makes a little more soup, and there we go. So that's about it, folks. What we're going to do now is just put the lid on, bring this to a boil, and let it cook. Lentils are nice because you don't have to pre-soak them, right? You can put them in. They only take about 20 minutes to make this whole thing, and that was really simple, right? So I'm excited as to what comes out. I think we can count that vegetable broth as another veggie because that had a lot of those nutrients right in that broth. So we put the lid on, it'll make it come to a boil faster, and then we're good to go. So let's look at a couple other ways while that's coming to a boil that we can get our fruits and veggies. And one of my very favorite ways is to use them as snacks, right? Trade out some of those sweetened snacks that we might be grabbing and instead grab some veggies. So now look what they have. We've got little cucumbers in the store that we can use, a variety of different colored peppers that we can grab. We can dip it in some hummus. We can put a little peanuts. We can have it with a handful of nuts or maybe some peanut butter or nut butter. And then we have these wonderful little cherry tomatoes that are just absolutely delicious. So sweet. These travel well too, right? We can have these wherever. So I'm going to come back here to my cutting board, and guess what else we can do with all these little veggies that I just showed you? Is we can create a quick salad. So in the summertime when it's hot, we like to have some something that's not quite so hot. So a salad is a great way to get your veggies. Toss some greens in here. It could be any of your favorites, some spinach, kale, whatever you like. And then we're just going to pop a little of these veggies in there. Cute little colors. Again, it's your favorites, correct? It's what you like to eat. That's the best part of being the cook, is you get to choose what you like and come up with a variety of different colors and flavors. So that, and our little cherry tomatoes. And look what we have. We have this beautiful little tossed salad that we can have with any meal, or we could add some protein to it and have it for lunch. Add a little vinegar and oil, salt and pepper, we're good to go. All right. Okay, we've been here and our soup is coming to a nice boil. Oh, the kitchen smells so good, right? And so, like I said, it takes about 20 minutes for these lentils to cook up. We're almost there. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is I'm going to make a little tortilla to go serve along with this soup. And what I'm going to do is use just a little regular corn tortilla in a nice hot pan, nice dry pan. I'm going to just spray one side with a little bit of oil so it doesn't have a lot of fat on it. I'm going to sprinkle this side with a little bit of salt. You can actually shave a little bit of like a lemon zest or lime zest on it, and then use that, and then you get that nice little lime flavor. So we're gonna let that toast. We're gonna check out our asparagus. Remember our asparagus? Ooh, look, isn't that beautiful? It's just all finished up, and we'll take a little bit of that. and put it on our plate. So we're gonna finish up the soup in a couple little ways. Me, I like to get one more veggie into that pot. So what I have is some little kale here, baby kale. And so that kale is gonna give it one more veggie, right? And another color. So Haley,
Yes, ma'am.
what are we up to as far as our veggie count?
Are we up to 6?
Yeah, golly. We have just added a little green right at the end. Doesn't take long for these guys to cook, right? These are super simple and super quick. And now we have, ooh, look at that. One more beautiful veggie in the pot. Now, we have a couple options. We're gonna turn the pot off, and we have a couple options. If you like your soup a little bit with a little creamier base to it, you can take a little scoop out. We can put it in a blender, or you can use one of these immersion blenders, little boat motor, we can put it in. Just for a minute, and it gives it a nice creamy base to it, okay? The last thing we're gonna do is my favorite thing, is we're gonna take out a lemon, and we're gonna chop that in half, and we're gonna squeeze some nice lemon juice into the soup. It is gonna make all those spices and those flavors that we just put in here just pop. It's gonna be delicious. So you could squeeze half of a lemon or shoot some lemon juice in there. It's gonna make it just beautiful. There we go. So our soup is ready to serve. Let's do a little scoop out and let's get it on the plate. We'll take our little bowl here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at there. We'll put that on the plate. And let's check out our little tortilla. Here we go. Look at how beautiful our little corn tortillas toasting up. We can turn the burner off. We can turn our soup off and put this on the side. Now let's come over and look at our plate. See how we did. Today, we learned how important it was to have fruits and vegetables every single day. We know if we use the little My Plate method, this is a great reminder that half of our plate or our intake should be from fruits and veggies. We looked at 4 different ways today to get those fruits and veggies, right? We roasted asparagus, we made a super soup that is delicious, we did a tossed salad, and we looked at using fruits and vegetables for snacks and desserts. Easy to do. I have full confidence that you can cook and make these dishes at home and make your family happy and healthy at the same time.